Welcome back to Horoscope TV. I want you to imagine something for a second. Think about being on a really long, just incredibly exhausting road trip.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well.
Right. Like you have been sleeping in strange beds, eating out of vending machines, and just living out of this incredibly heavy suitcase for what feels like months.
Yeah, your back aches, your mind is totally scattered.
Exactly. You just feel totally out of your element. But then finally, you put your key in your own front door, you walk inside, drop your bags on the floor, and, well, the house is perfectly quiet.
It's the best feeling.
You sink into your own comfortable couch, take a massive deep breath, and you just exhale. Everything is exactly where it belongs.
That is the perfect way to picture it, honestly. Because that exact feeling of relief, of finally being home, is exactly what the cosmic weather is handing you this week.
Which is so needed.
Oh, absolutely. When we look at the astrological charts for the week of March 30 to April 5, the geometry in the sky is pointing to a massive shift. And it's a shift that revolves entirely around finding your solid ground again.
And that is exactly our mission for this show. For you, our Taurus listener, we are going to navigate your week by analyzing exactly what the planets, the moon phases, and all the different transit lines actually mean for your everyday life.
Right, the practical stuff.
Yeah, we are going to look at your love life, your career, your money, and of course, your health. We are basically giving you the map so you can understand the hidden forces pulling at your week.
And it really all starts with that feeling of coming home, like you mentioned.
It does, because on March 30, the most significant movement of the entire week happens. Your ruling planet, Venus, finally enters your own sign of Taurus.
Yes, finally.
Okay, let's unpack this right away. We hear the term ruling planet a lot in astrology, but what does that actually mean mechanically? Like, why does it matter that Venus is your ruler, and why is it such a big deal that it's moving into Taurus?
That is a really great question. So think of the zodiac signs, like different houses in a neighborhood,
Okay, I can picture that.
and every house has a homeowner. For the sign of Taurus, the homeowner is Venus. Venus is the planet of beauty, comfort, value, and harmony.
Right.
But when Venus is traveling through other signs, like when it was just in Aries, which is a very fast, fiery, and kind of aggressive sign, it's like the homeowner's crashing on someone else's couch.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds stressful.
It is. Venus could not fully be itself. It was basically forced to act rushed and aggressive because of the house it was staying in.
Which means you, as a Taurus listener, probably felt rushed and aggressive or just, deeply unsettled over the last few weeks.
Exactly.
Like you just could not catch your breath.
Right, because your ruling planet was uncomfortable, so you felt uncomfortable. But on March 30th, Venus walks through its own front door.
Ah, dropping the bags on the floor.
Exactly. In astrological terms, we actually call this being in its domicile.
Oh.
And when a planet is in its own home, it operates at 100% power.
Because it doesn't have to follow anyone else's rules.
Precisely. It doesn't have to fight to be heard. So for you, this sets an immediate tone of confidence. It brings a profound sense of grounding back to your daily life.
That sounds amazing.
It's like, when there's static on the radio and then it suddenly clears up.
Yes, and you can finally hear the music.
Exactly. You can finally hear the music.
Well, that brings us to a really important starting point. Because before you can go out and conquer your career or resolve things in your relationships or count your money, you really have to look at your own personal foundation first.
You absolutely do.
You have to make sure your own house is in order. And with Venus coming home and turning off that background static, it feels like this is the perfect time to find your footing and prioritize your physical health.
It is. When we analyze the charts showing Venus entering your sign, it's very clear that this energy is deeply, deeply physical.
Because Taurus is an earth sign, right?
Yes, exactly. You experience the world through your physical senses, what you can touch, taste, smell, hear, and see. And Venus wants to maximize all of those senses in the best way possible.
So this isn't just a mental shift. This is literally a physical demand from your body to just slow down.
It is an absolute requirement. The astro data points to a very strong desire to pamper yourself right now. And I want to be super clear here. Pampering is not a luxury this week. It is maintenance.
Oh, I love that phrase. Pampering is maintenance.
It really is.
So what does that actually look like for our listener? Are we talking about taking relaxing spa treatments, or is it as simple as drawing a long, warm bath at home with nice-smelling soap, locking the door, and just ignoring the world for an hour?
Honestly, it can absolutely be both. The physical senses are directly tied to how you process stress.
Okay, how so?
Well, when a Taurus feels stressed, their muscles get tight, their jaw clenches, and they become really stubborn. So things like soft towels, warm water, good smells, comfortable clothes, these are actual practical tools for your wellness right now.
So it's about soothing the nervous system.
Exactly. Your nervous system will benefit greatly from a slower, much more deliberate pace. You need to take your time walking. Take your time eating. Just do not rush.
That makes perfect sense. And, it ties directly into another major event on the charts. On April 2, we have a full moon in the sign of Libra,
Yes, we do.
and it is highlighting your specific sector of routines and wellness. Okay, I have to ask about the actual mechanics of this. A full moon happens when the sun and the moon are exactly opposite each other in the sky, right?
That is exactly right. They are 180 degrees apart.
Okay.
The sun is basically shining its maximum light directly onto the moon.
So if it is shining maximum light onto your sector of daily routines, is this full moon essentially like hitting the reset button on your phone?
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Like hitting reset and deleting all the junk apps that are slowing it down? Is it shining a bright light on all the bad habits you've picked up so you can finally let them go?
Yes, absolutely. A full moon acts like a giant, unavoidable spotlight. And the sign of Libra is all about balance and harmony.
So it wants your routines to be balanced.
Right. The spotlight is shining on your daily habits and asking, where are you out of balance?
Yeah.
The charts show this transit, forcing you to look at the little things you do every single day.
Like staring at your phone in bed?
Exactly.
Mm.
Are you staying up way too late looking at screens? Are you working right through your lunch break and just drinking coffee instead of eating a real meal?
Guilty.
We all are sometimes. But this full moon makes those imbalances feel very uncomfortable so that you are practically forced to fix them.
So what adjustments does the cosmic weather actually suggest you make?
Well, the very first step is finding a strict boundary between work and relaxation. You cannot blur the lines right now.
So when work is over, it's actually over.
Yes. When you're done working, you must stop. No checking emails on the couch. The second adjustment the charts point to is starting a gentle exercise program.
Gentle being the absolute key word there, right? Because an earth sign does not usually want to go run a painful marathon on a whim.
Exactly. And honestly, pushing yourself to the point of pain will actually backfire into this Venus energy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you want movement that feels naturally good, walking outside in nature, doing some light stretching on a comfortable mat, or maybe swimming.
Things that feel nice.
Right. Movement that reminds you that you have a physical body, but does not punish that body.
What about the fuel for that body? Does the food need to change this week?
The astro data suggests a strong return to the earth. You need fresh, nutritious whole foods.
Like things that actually grow in the dirt.
Yes. Crisp
Yeah.
greens, fresh fruit, root vegetables. When you eat heavily processed foods right now, it'll make you feel incredibly sluggish, and it actually blocks that clear Venus energy. You need food that physically grounds you.
Okay, I am seeing a warning light blinking on the dashboard, though.
Yeah? Yes.
We have all this great grounding energy, but the charts point to a very specific hurdle on April 3 regarding your health.
Yes, this is a crucial warning. Around April 3, you must protect your sleep schedule fiercely.
Fiercely.
Yes, the astrological charts show a cluster of intense planetary angles happening on that specific day, and these aspects act like a heavyweight pulling on your emotional and physical battery.
So you might wake up feeling like you didn't sleep at all.
Exactly. You will likely feel emotionally drained and just have a very short fuse.
But wait, why does that happen? If Venus is home and you are doing everything right, why the sudden drain?
Because the planets are constantly moving, and other planets are making hard angles to your personal planets.
Okay, I see.
Think of it like walking outside on a perfectly sunny day, but suddenly a massive gust of freezing wind hits you.
Oh, I hate that.
Right. The sun is still out, but the wind just takes your breath away for a second. That is exactly what April 3 feels like. You are in need of deep restoration.
So the actionable advice for April 3 is simple then. Cancel your late plans.
Yes.
Do not host a dinner party. Do not stay up watching another episode of a show. Go to bed early. Protect your energy fortress.
Exactly. Because when you protect that energy and you allow yourself to truly rest, you start to naturally radiate all that calm, steady Venus energy.
And people are going to notice.
They definitely will. It is going to ripple outward. The very first place people are going to notice this grounded, calm version of you is in your love life, in your social circle.
Which brings us to the tension and the magnetism of romance. Because you are feeling so good on the inside, it translates directly to the outside.
It always does.
The charts show that starting on March 30, When Venus enters your sign, you become incredibly magnetic.
Magnetism is the exact right word to use here. When we analyze the geometry, a planet in its home sign pulls things toward it.
It's like gravity.
Yes, it does not have to chase.
Let us talk about what this means if you are single. Because usually people think they need to put on a big flashy show or try really hard to get noticed on dating apps.
And that is the exact opposite of what you should do this week. If you are single, people are going to be naturally drawn to your warm, comforting presence.
Just by being yourself.
Think about a cold winter day. Everyone wants to stand next to the warm fireplace, right?
Yeah, or for sure.
Well, you are the fireplace this week. People want to be near your steady energy because the rest of the world feels so chaotic to them right now.
So it's a fantastic time to just put yourself out there in very normal, low-pressure ways.
Yes. Go to a quiet coffee shop and read a book. Take a slow walk through a park. Say yes to a casual dinner invitation with a small group of friends.
Keep it simple.
Right. You do not need loud clubs or complicated dates.
Yeah.
Just being your authentic, grounded self is the absolute strongest pull you have right now.
That sounds incredibly peaceful for the singles. But let's look at the couples, because the charts show a totally different story.
They do. It gets a little complicated.
Yeah, there is a serious bump in the road on April 3. This is when Venus squares Pluto.
Yes. This is a very heavy transit. In the astrological charts, a square is a 90-degree angle between two planets.
Okay, wait. Let's really explain this for our listeners. Why does a 90-degree angle cause problems?
Think about two cars arriving at an intersection at the exact same time from roads that form a 90-degree angle.
Okay.
If they both keep going, they crash.
Oh, right. Boom.
Exactly. A square creates friction. It forces two completely different energies to deal with each other. It is not a smooth blending. It is a collision.
And in this case, the collision is between Venus, your ruler of love and comfort, and Pluto. What exactly does Pluto bring to the crash?
Pluto is the planet that rules the deep hidden things. It rules the basement of your mind.
The basement. That sounds ominous.
It can be. It's secrets, power dynamics, control, and deep-seated fears. So when the planet of love crashes into the planet of hidden fears, all the things you usually keep buried bubble right up to the surface.
Oh, boy.
For a Taurus, this almost always manifests as intense feelings of jealousy or possessiveness.
Let me push back on this, though. If Venus is in your sign, making you feel magnetic, secure, and attractive, why does April 3 suddenly trigger jealousy? Is it because you are looking like too attractive to outsiders and your partner is the one getting worried and acting jealous? Or is the Taurus listener the one feeling insecure?
That is a brilliant question, because the charts show it can easily be a mix of both, and they actually feed into each other.
Like a loop.
Yes, you are shining very brightly right now. Others are noticing you. Your partner might pick up on that extra attention and feel a sudden spike of insecurity, causing them to act controlling.
Which a Taurus would hate.
Exactly. But on the flip side, Taurus is a sign that rules the material world. You value what belongs to you.
True.
So when Pluto triggers your fears, you might unconsciously start treating your partner like a possession that you need to guard. You might feel a sudden kind of irrational urge to hold on too tightly.
It is like gripping a wet bar of soap. The tighter you squeeze it, the faster it shoots out of your hand.
That is a perfect analogy. The tension is real, and it feels very uncomfortable because it disrupts your peace.
So how do you fix it? Because if a Taurus feels wronged or feels jealous, their first instinct is usually to cross their arms, plant their feet, and refuse to speak.
Ah, yes. The infamous silent treatment.
Exactly, the silent treatment.
And the charts are very clear that the silent treatment will be a total disaster this week.
So what's the alternative?
These heavy Pluto emotions must be handled with total maturity and completely open communication. You cannot hold grudges.
You have to actually talk about it.
Yes, if you feel that dark tug of jealousy, you have to say out loud, I am feeling insecure right now, without accusing your partner of causing it.
Own the feeling.
Right. And if your partner acts jealous, you have to listen calmly without getting defensive or angry. You have to bring your natural, steady patience to the table. No mind games.
Just uncomfortable, honest talking. Which is hard, but there is a massive payoff if you do the work. The charts show a beautiful resolution coming just 2 days later, on April 5.
Yes. On April 5, the geometry shifts. Venus moves into a sextile with the node.
Okay, we talked about squares being a crash. What is a sextile?
A sextile is a 60-degree angle. Instead of two cars crashing at an intersection, a 60-degree angle is like an on-ramp merging smoothly onto a highway.
Oh, nice.
The energies work together easily. It builds a bridge, And the node represents your future path, your growth, and your destiny.
So Venus, the planet of love, gets a smooth on-ramp to your future growth.
Exactly. This means that if you handle the messy, jealous tension on April 3 with honesty, by April 5, you and your partner will find a deep, meaningful resolution.
It's not just making up after a fight, then.
No, it actually strengthens the foundation of the relationship. You
Hmm.
clear out the hidden fears, and you come out of it feeling far closer, more trusted than you did before the tension even started.
That is the reward for doing the heavy emotional lifting. You get a stronger house. Okay, so you have this magnetic charm, and you have just practiced using very clear communication to resolve high-stakes tension in your relationship. You are going to need those exact skills immediately because they are about to be tested in your work and your wallet.
They absolutely are.
Let us move to the practical application of your weak career buzz and financial security.
Your career sector is showing a lot of focused mental activity right now. The charts indicate that your brain is working very efficiently,
So you're feeling sharp.
very sharp. You are going to find it much easier to take your practical ideas and explain them to your coworkers in a way that makes perfect sense.
But of course, the cosmic weather never makes it completely easy. We have to talk about March 31. The charts show a specific alignment happening called a malefic besieged transit.
Yes.
Now, I have to be honest, malefic besieged sounds like a terrible historical event where a castle gets surrounded and starved out. It sounds incredibly scary.
It is an ancient astrological term, and honestly, the visual of a castle being surrounded is actually incredibly accurate.
Oh, great.
Let us break down the mechanics of what this means. In astrology, there are certain planets historically viewed as challenging or difficult, specifically Mars, which brings conflict and heat, and Saturn, which brings blockages, rules, and delays.
And besieged means being trapped.
Yes.
Yes.
Geometrically, it means a personal planet. The part of the chart representing your daily actions or communications is caught exactly between the harsh energy of Mars and the blocking energy of Saturn.
Oh, wow.
It feels like you are completely boxed in.
So it's not just a standard traffic jam. It is like you are driving on a one-lane highway and a massive slow-moving truck pulls in front of you,
Right.
and an aggressive tailgating truck pulls up right behind you.
Yeah.
You cannot speed up, you cannot slow down, and you absolutely cannot change lanes. You are trapped in the middle of their chaotic energy.
That is exactly what March 31 will feel like at your job. You are going to face sudden, frustrating roadblocks.
Like what kind of roadblocks?
Well, you will likely have to deal with difficult coworkers who are either aggressively pushing you or stubbornly refusing to do their part of the work and slowing you down. Miscommunications will happen. People will drop the ball.
And the absolute worst thing you can do when you are boxed between two big trucks is panic, jerk the steering wheel, and try to force your way out because you will crash.
Right. If you lose your temper or if you get dragged into a screaming match over workplace politics, you become the problem.
So what's the move here?
The specific advice from the charts for this besieged transit is to do nothing drastic. Stay completely calm. Stay in your lane. Trust your gut and just keep doing your own high-quality work at your own steady pace.
Let the difficult coworkers throw their tantrums. Let the trucks honk. You just keep your hands on the wheel.
Exactly. Because the alignment moves.
Yeah.
The trucks eventually take a different exit. The patience pays off massively by April 3.
And here's where the charts show a major breakthrough. Mercury connects with Jupiter. How does that clear the road for your career?
This is a beautiful piece of planetary geometry. Mercury is the planet that rules your mind, your emails, your meetings, and your voice.
Okay.
And Jupiter is the giant planet of growth, luck, and expansion. When they link up harmoniously on April 3, it is like a light bulb turning on in a dark room. It opens your mind to new, big-picture concepts.
But it is not just abstract thinking, right? This actually brings tangible results.
Very tangible. This connection brings a wave of positive news. It is highly likely to be related to a specific project you've been grinding away at for months.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes. The work you were doing quietly while everyone else was arguing on March 31 is finally getting noticed. Upper management or important clients are going to see your work, and they will highly appreciate your practical approach.
Because Taurus does not offer wild, impossible ideas, you offer things that actually work in the real world.
Yes. People with money and power want solid, workable solutions right now. They want stability. And because you are the embodiment of stability this week, you become incredibly valuable to them.
Which translates directly into money. And let us be honest, there are a few things a Taurus listener loves more than a feeling of absolute financial security.
That is very true.
Looking at the bank account and knowing you are safe.
Well, financial stability is a major focus in the charts this week. The stars are aligning to help you build a very thick, secure foundation.
How does that connect back to Venus?
If we go back to March 30, when Venus enters your sign, we have to remember that Venus does not just rule love and comfort. It is also the primary planet associated with money, wealth, and material value.
So when the planet of money enters your home sign, it is bringing gifts.
It naturally attracts abundance. You do not have to hunt it down, it comes to you. The astro data suggests you might see a surprising new source of income open up this week.
Like what?
It could be a small bonus at work, a side project finally paying off, or even just finding a brilliant deal that saves you a significant amount of money on something you needed to buy anyway.
Because your mind is so clear and focused on the future right now, this seems like the perfect time to do some financial housekeeping.
It is the ideal time. Sit down with your numbers, review your long-term investments, look at your savings accounts.
Look for the leaks.
Yes, make small, practical adjustments to your monthly budget. You have the mental clarity to find little ways to stop money from leaking out of your account so you can keep more of what you earn.
But wait, just like with your health and your love life, I see a giant caution sign in the charts for the weekend regarding your wallet.
Yes, there is a catch.
We are looking at April 5. The sun squares Jupiter.
Yes, another square. Another 90-degree collision.
But this time, it is the sun crashing into Jupiter. The sun represents your ego and your core identity. Jupiter represents expansion and luck.
Right.
Usually luck sounds good. What is the danger of those two colliding?
The danger is too much of a good thing. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. When it hits your ego at a harsh angle, it expands your confidence past the point of reality.
Yeah.
It makes you feel invincible. You might look at your bank account, see a little extra abundance from Venus, and suddenly think you are a financial genius who cannot lose.
Oh, wow. So you might get distracted by a flashy idea. Someone pitches you a risky investment, or you see something wildly expensive that you do not need, and instead of your usual cautious Taurus reaction, you think, why not? I am feeling lucky today.
Exactly. You feel overly optimistic about a risky leap, and the charts are screaming absolutely not. You must be extremely careful on April 5.
So pump the brakes.
Hard. The specific advice here is to lock down your practical nature. If you are forced to sign a contract, read every single line of the fine print twice. If you are thinking about making a big purchase, wait 48 hours.
And the charts have one more very specific, very blunt warning about money this week.
Yes. Do not lend money to your friends. Period.
Why is that so highly warned against right now?
Because the mix of that confusing Jupiter optimism and the potential for hidden resentments with Pluto means that mixing friendship and money this week will be a total disaster.
It's just a bad combination.
The worst. If a friend comes to you asking for a loan and you cannot afford to simply hand them the cash as a permanent gift that you will never ask for again, you have to say no.
You have to protect your own vault. Focus entirely on practical, slow, sustainable ways to grow your own personal wealth.
Slow and steady is the only way you win the financial race right now.
Okay, so dealing with difficult coworkers and maybe having to look a friend in the eye and say no to lending them money, this brings up a fascinating point about your environment. Who should you actually surround yourself with this week?
Right.
And who should you actively run away from? Because energy is incredibly contagious.
It is, and it will heavily impact how successful you are at staying grounded. The astrological charts actually give us exact answers about planetary compatibility for this specific week. We can see clearly who will lift you up and who will drain your battery.
Let us start with the good news. When you want to collaborate or go on a date or just have a deep conversation, who is your absolute best match right now?
Your most compatible sign this week is Scorpio.
Scorpio. Okay, let's unpack the mechanics of this. Scorpio is a water sign. Taurus is an earth sign. In the zodiac wheel, they are exact opposites. They sit 180 degrees away from each other.
They do.
Usually we think of opposites as clashing. Why does this work so beautifully right now?
It works because of polarity. Think of a battery. You have a positive end and a negative end. They're opposites, but when you connect them, they create a powerful working current.
Oh, I like that.
Taurus and Scorpio share an axis in the sky, the axis of resources. Taurus rules the physical, material resources, the earth, the money, the physical body. Scorpio rules the hidden, shared emotional resources, the deep bonds, the secrets, the intense trust.
So they are basically two sides of the exact same coin.
Yes, and what is fascinating here is the balance they provide. Scorpios offer an intense emotional depth and an absolutely unwavering loyalty.
Which Taurus loves.
Exactly. Remember, right now, your Venus energy is craving total stability. You do not want flaky people. Scorpio is the least flaky sign in the zodiac when they commit. They give you the absolute loyalty you need to feel safe.
And in return, your calm, steady, grounded energy provides a safe harbor for their intense, stormy emotions. You are the solid banks of the river, and they are the deep water rushing through it.
That is a beautiful way to describe the mechanics of their connection. When we analyze the charts, we see that teaming up with a Scorpio this week makes you essentially unstoppable.
Whether it's romance or work.
Whether it is a romantic partner, a best friend, or a coworker you are tackling a project with, they just inherently get you. You do not have to waste energy constantly explaining your motives or your feelings to them. They understand your unspoken needs.
That is such a relief for a Taurus, not having to justify your need for quiet or your need for a slow pace.
It is deeply relieving. And Scorpios also push you, but in a very productive way.
Yeah.
Because they are so comfortable in the deep waters, they encourage you to look beneath the surface of your own life.
They bring out your hidden depths.
Yes, they help you explore your hidden talents, and they give you the complete confidence to use them. Together, you build a connection based on absolute, unbreakable trust. If you have a Scorpio by your side this week, no obstacle at work or in life can stop you.
All right, now we have to look at the flip side of the coin. Who should you steer clear of? Who is going to drain your carefully protected energy fortress?
The charts indicate that your least compatible sign this week is Leo.
Leo. Okay, let's look at the astrology of this. Leo is a fire sign, Taurus is an earth sign, but more importantly, they're both what astrology calls fixed signs. What does it mean to be a fixed sign, and why do they clash so hard?
Fixed signs are exactly what they sound like. They do not like to move. They hold the structure together.
Okay.
Taurus holds the physical structure. Leo holds the structure of ego and identity. When two fixed signs form an angle to each other in the sky, it is a square. There was that 90-degree collision again.
So it is the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. Yeah.
Exactly. Right now, the current astrological weather highlights the most stubborn and inflexible traits within both of your personalities. It leads to inevitable, exhausting clashes.
Just a total drain.
Let us look at how you naturally operate. You prefer a calm, predictable environment. You want things to be steady and quiet.
Right.
Leo, on the other hand, is ruled by the sun. They constantly seek dramatic attention. They want loud validation. They want to be the center of the room.
So you are sitting in your carefully drawn, warm bath, enjoying your quiet Venus energy, and a Leo comes kicking the door open, playing loud music, and demanding that you pay attention to their latest drama.
And your energy battery drains instantly. We need to tie this direct clash back to the warning date we discussed earlier, April 5.
Right, April 5. That was the day the sun squares Jupiter, the day of overconfidence and risky leaps.
Yes, because the sun rules Leo, that specific square transit supercharges their energy. On April 5, a Leo's demands for attention will feel entirely extravagant and totally unreasonable to your practical sensibilities.
Like what might they do?
They might want to spend a ridiculous amount of money on a flashy night out. Or they might suggest a wildly reckless solution to a problem at work just because it sounds exciting.
And because you are grounded in reality, you will look at their idea and immediately point out all the practical reasons why it will fail.
Which injures their ego. And because you are both fixed signs, neither of you will back down.
Oh, stalemate.
You will refuse to agree with their reckless idea, and they will refuse to accept your practical logic.
Which leads to a massive blowout.
It results in very harsh words. And worse, it results in lingering resentment. This is not the kind of fight where you yell for 5 minutes and then go get coffee. It is the kind of stubborn fight that leaves a dark cloud over the room for days.
So what is the actionable advice here? How do you handle a Leo this week? Do you just cross the street if you see them coming?
You protect your space. The advice from the charts is to keep your interactions with Leos very brief, highly professional, and emotionally detached during this period.
Just stick to the facts.
If you work with a Leo, only talk about the specific tasks at hand. Do not offer opinions on their personal lives. Smile politely, finish the conversation quickly, and physically walk away. Do not get pulled into their orbit of drama. You must protect your inner peace.
Protect your inner peace. That is the perfect guiding rule for navigating this entire week. All right, we have covered an incredible amount of ground today. We have looked at the mechanisms behind your health, your love life, your money, and your social circle.
It's a big week.
It really is. Now, let us give you your specific toolkit for the week. These are the elements the charts highlight to help reinforce that grounding energy and bring you a little extra luck. First, your color of the week is green.
Green is the ultimate color for you right now. It is the color of nature, the color of vital growth, and universally the color of physical wealth. But the charts point to a very specific shade.
Oh, not just any green.
No, the exact hex color code is hashtag 0000000. It is a very rich, dark, solid, traditional green.
Why that specific shade?
Because it is not a bright, neon, flashy color. It is the color of deep grass and ancient forests. It perfectly matches your deep, grounded earth energy.
That makes sense.
Surrounding yourself with this specific green, whether it is wearing a sweater in this color, changing the background on your phone, or just spending time around green plants, will actually help physically reinforce that steady Venus energy in your nervous system.
I love that. It is a visual anchor. Okay, grab a pen, because here are your lucky numbers for the week based on the planetary alignments.
You ready?
Your numbers are 2, 11, 24, 38, 47, and 52. I will read those one more time so you can write them down. Your numbers are 2, 11, 24, 38, 47, and 52. And just to quickly recap your absolute best dates to take action sign papers or expect positive resolutions: March 30, when your ruler Venus finally enters your sign, and April 5, when that beautiful sextile geometry helps you find deep resolution in your relationships.
As we wrap up our analysis of this week's cosmic weather, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. When we step back and look at the entire massive spinning clockwork of the astrological charts for this week, we see a very clear tug-of-war going on in your life.
A tug-of-war between which forces?
A war between two completely different paces of life. On one side, you have slow, steady, deeply grounded growth. This is the beautiful energy driven by Venus coming home to your sign. It is the desire to build things that last.
Right.
But on the other side, pulling fiercely against you, is the temptation of flashy, dramatic, risky leaps. That chaotic energy is being pushed by the harsh square between the Sun and Jupiter and the draining Leo energy that might be hovering around you.
So you are standing in the middle, and you are going to feel physically pulled in both directions at different times this week.
You absolutely will. So as you move through your week, from the quiet moments making your coffee in the morning to the frustrating, besieged meetings at work, I want you to ask yourself this question.
Okay, what is it?
When a shiny new distraction pops up, or when someone tries to drag you into their chaos, ask yourself, are you feeding your need for drama, or are you watering your own green grass?
Are you feeding the drama or watering your own grass? That is such a powerful lens to view your decisions through, because you have all the cosmic tools to make your own grass incredibly vibrant and secure this week, as long as you refuse to let anyone rush you. Thank you so much for joining us and listening to the episode on Horoscope TV. We truly appreciate you taking the time to understand the cosmic weather with us.
We really do.
If you want to make sure you never miss a forecast, please hit that subscribe button right now so you can get notified the exact moment the next episode is available. Take care of yourself, protect your peace, and have a beautifully grounded week.